The Kenya Kwanza coalition says it will support a move to set up the office of official opposition leader, noting that this will strengthen democracy in the country. National Assembly Majority Leader Kimani Ichung'wah says the move to create the office is welcome, but should not be domiciled in Parliament as proposed in a draft bill seen by NTV. United Democratic Alliance UDA chairperson Johnson Muthama says it does not make sense that a person whose difference with the winner is just 200,000 votes should be a commoner on the streets. NTV senior political affairs reporter Kennedy Morethi interrogates.
The journey to consensus building on a proposed bill to create the office of the official opposition leader has begun in earnest, with a team from Azimio One Kenya now tasked to reach out to their Kenya Kwanza colleagues for support. Multiple voices within the Kenya Kwanza outfit are already buying the idea, noting it is a good ground to bolster a strong opposition that will check the government. The bill, fronted by the leadership of the Azimio One Kenya coalition, with the blessings of Raila Odinga and Kalonzo Musyoka, proposes the setting up of the office of official opposition leader through introducing Article 92A, which states the leader of opposition shall be the candidate nominated by a political party or coalition political party or coalition of political parties, which secures the second greatest number of votes in any concluded presidential election and receives at least 25% of all the members of the National Assembly. The bill also introduces the office of a deputy opposition leader. The deputy leader of opposition shall be a candidate nominated by a political party or coalition political party or coalition of political parties.
We have always encouraged bipartisanship in the consideration of any and all business that comes before us in the House. And therefore, if they intend to bring any form of bill that they want a bipartisan approach, we are always willing and ready to engage with anybody and everybody in this country.
When President Ruto gave his speech, his maiden speech, after he was inaugurated, one thing he said that he wishes to see a strong opposition being in place.
The bill also proposes the setting up of the office of the official opposition within the parliament's precincts, where the holder of the office shall have, among other powers, appoint a representative to sit in various select committees, address a special sitting of parliament once every year and any other time.
There is absolutely nothing wrong in having a forum for the leader of the opposition to engage with Kenyans. I, for instance, don't believe that the floor of parliament is where that should happen. He should have an office somewhere, maybe.
Further, the bill proposes that the offices of the opposition leader and his deputy will be funded from the exchequer, solicit funds from donors, and employ staff.
Nothing stops any leader, whether you're in government or in the minority or in the opposition, from soliciting for funds so long as those funds are going towards the interests of the public. But if you want to use an office that you are telling us will be catered for by the exchequer to solicit for funds for your own use or for the use of your political coalition, then I don't think the public should be funding you.
The United Democratic Alliance chairperson Johnson Muthama says any person who runs for presidency and garners as many votes as Odinga did in the August elections should not be left out in the cold.
President Ruto won with 7.2 million votes. Raila received 6.9. Look at that following behind Raila, behind him. Are you telling me that person does not deserve really, one, to have an office, number two, to have his car fueled up, to be able to reach the 6.9 million Kenyans? Are you telling me that that person should not have a public addressing system given by the government to reach the 6.9 voters who voted for him? We will be doing injustice to Kenyans.
Already, political talk has it that some leaders in both Azimio One Kenya and Kenya Kwanza are in talks and the bill may be submitted in Parliament next year when the House comes from recess. Kennedy Murray.
Hapo sasa ndio tunataka tuanzie maoni fupi tukisonga. Tupatie public participation nafasi kwanza, ama Stone PK unataka kucomment ndio tusonge mbele?
Patia public alafu mimi nitakuja.
Haya, sawa. Naona Guru amefuga kuku. Julia, unaona hiyo? Guru ni mkulima hatari. Hebu angalia kwa hiyo screen yake. Mbona anatudanganya hapa ako na hustler fund na kumbe ni mfugaji.
Yes, hata I saw some fruit trees karibu na nyumba yake.
Okay.
Nikasema Guru is doing good, but
okay.
You know, unasikia aliendea 500 akaenda kula nyama.
Okay, sawa. Haya, sawa. Public participation, karibu.
Asante Makiadi. Hi Makiadi, Julia, Son Piquedo, Kenyan with love. Ninaona tu hiyo mambo ya Guru hapo. Kuna kuku mzuri. Are you getting me? You're getting me?
Uko sawa. Endelea.
Okay. Okay. Sasa hii mambo ya official opposition. Unajua, if it was another government in power, I would not have a problem. But the way I know Hustler hakuna kitu yenye ukiona kitu yote yenye Kenya Kwanza ina support, you just know that hiyo ni kitu yenye it has Hustler behind the scenes. Na anything which has Hustler behind the scenes, I agree, is not for the benefit of the mwananchi. I can assure you of that. So what Hustler is trying to do through is Kenya Kwanza people, and of course maybe he has some people in Azimio now. He has bought them to try and convince Baba ingia kwa hiyo official opposition. Is equal situation kama ile yenye ilikuwa wakati ya handshake, whereby now the country has no opposition because the opposition now is in bed with the government. So as I think Julia was saying, that the West is not comfortable with the situation. This calm, it seems to be the calm before the storm. So it's an artificial calm. And it's something that I keep on saying here, that Kenya is a very unstable country. The stability we are seeing and the peace is a very artificial kind of a calm. This country is not stable, it's very unstable. And me, I realized that in 2007. 2007 is when I realized this country is very unstable. Kwa sababu, there are too many. First of all, let's not even talk of tribes. Because if you're in a country where it's developed like where you guys are, there's no problem with your tribe. Somebody come, okay, whites are the ones who become president most of the time because they're the majority, but a minority like Barack Obama could become a president, and the blacks I think should be less than 20% of the country, of the population, and still white people voted for him and other Hispanics voted for him. So the problem with our constitution and the problem with our country is too much power in the president, such that it's a do or die. You see me, I have no problem if a Kalenjin is president term after term, if things are working, if people have jobs, if the roads are good, I'll not have a problem with Kalenjin being the president for 50 years, I'm 100 years. But you see, the problem with this, our country is that the president is the alpha and the omega. The president is everything. And now, you know, this thing of buying people started with Uhuru. First he bought, and then he bought the MPs to chase away the people who are supporting Hustler. Now, Hustler has perfected that art of buying. You buy the church, you buy the parliament, and the legislature, the judiciary. Now you want to buy also the opposition. So, what kind of a country are we going to be having? My advice to Baba is let him not enter into any deal with this guy, because it's just like going to bed with the devil or making a deal with the devil. Hakuna siku utawahi shinda in such a thing. And I know that Hasla is very unhappy and very he doesn't know, the way he expected some kind of uproar after he has stolen the election, but there's nothing. So he's really wondering what is cooking behind in the kitchen, what is cooking, what is this guy up to, what is Baba up to? He's too quiet, So if you look at him and especially him, he's very nervous. He's not settled because he's wondering what is this guy up to, what is he going to do next. So far, the method he's trying to use in ile ya Uhuru, that come we shake hands, but now instead of it being a handshake, equal official opposition. I give you all the whatever you need to be an official opposition, but now I buy some people in your camp as well, so you will not have a voice. And you can see that's what happened when there was the handshake. Baba didn't have a voice; he couldn't speak against the excesses of government. So it's very unfortunate that some people are, of which it may not be unfortunate, but it might be something which is actually planned in that, because I know Hasla is very good at buying. That's why some of these people, maybe they have already been bought in one way or another to come and say that, because you had 6 point something million voters, so now you need to be given some kind of support by the government, you know there is no government of Hasla which is going to support you to critique itself. I can assure you of that. He just wants you to kwa mfuko so that now he kills the opposition properly, officially. Now he kills them with that official post of official opposition, the same way they were killed by handshake. Because if handshake was not there, there were so many excesses. Now, Uhuru sat down and thought that this Baba is really interfering with my plans of what I want to do. So let me shake hands with him, and then I can do my thing, have a free reign, do whatever I want to do, and that's what happened. So my advice to Azimio, don't don't have anything to do with Nani Hasla. Anything to do with Hasla is something which is created to be able to finish you, because now the only frontier which Hasla has not conquered is Azimio. That is the only. Of course, he has bought some people from Azimio, but he has not conquered Baba. Otherwise, every other front is okay. I mean, he has put it in the pocket, so he can do his thing. So and as you have seen, this less than it's almost 100 days. You have seen he has extensive kind of a plan on how to plunder the nation, and all kind of things which are money making and corruption. He has an extensive plan, but now there are some which are coming in the future which will cause a lot of uproar. So for him, having put everyone else on his side, bought them, the one thing he's remaining is Baba. So once he puts Baba in check, now he can unleash the big guns. See, what he has been doing right now is just small time, removing subsidy, launching this whatever Fuliza is lying at his alone, and all these things he has been doing. They are small time. He has and GMO. He has big time things which can cause an uproar. So for him, he feels that once he's captured, when it was state capture, he has state captured the Kia Baba and anyone who is opposing his government. Now he's ready to go. Now he can bring out the big bad plans that he has for the nation. But what I always keep on saying, like Mato Ndeto was keeping on telling us that there's a problem of tribe of Kuyu and Kalenjin and this and the other. Those problems would not be there if the economy is stable and everything is working out. The problem is that too much power which is vested in the presidency. So everybody knows that I'm not going to get anywhere unless my person is in the presidency. And that's why there's that of the big tribes. Otherwise, like in states where they can vote for Barack Obama, minority, because he doesn't have so many powers, and if he misbehaves, he can be impeached. And you know that everything will go on, and there's way to check the excesses. But as here now, there's nothing like that. Once you're president, and even the checks and balances we had put, they were slowly being removed. Yeah, they are slowly being removed to the extent that now they are non-existent. So if judiciary is in the box, DCI is in the box, ODPC is in the box, legislature is in the box, church is in the box. I mean, the guy is it's just like Moi did. He's now, and IBC is also is also going to the box. The guy is now Moi. You know, we used to sing, you know, Moi ni Kanu ni baba na mama. So now Yuda or whatever, KK ni baba na mama. That's the kind of a scenario he's creating. And Kenyans, we have to wake up. But me, what I'm saying is this. This country is very, very unstable. It's only that, and the West, by the way, they are very much aware. And any war can erupt anytime in this country. And we saw it in 2007. Because even terrorist groups now like Al Shabaab, they're no longer bringing their own people to come and do terror attacks. They're just recruiting indigenous Kenyans, just locals too, because there are so many. As I told you, 14 million Kenyans are jobless. Those are young people and our country is 75% youth, 18 to 35. So imagine that amount of people who are disenfranchised, dispossessed. A lot of them are very well educated. What do you expect from that? You know, these are the kind of things that brought problems to Nigeria. Highly educated youth with nothing, extreme poverty. They ended up joining Boko Haram, joining, you know, all manner of. So it is in our interest, by the way, to move away from this draconian and all-powerful kind of an executive, because so that we can repair the economy. Because now the economy, first of all, right now the economy is already in tatters, and for sure, once Hustler takes over now with the big, these are just small things he was telling us, but he has bigger plans of looting. The economy will get even worse. And the worse it gets, by the way, the more unstable the country becomes. Because let's say somebody, a political figure, comes in and decides that, or even a Western country, and decides that we don't want this person, we want power now. What happens? They decide they're forming militia, and that's what happened in DRC. They decide they're forming a militia, recruiting people. There are so many, 14 million people. Let us become at 200K were joining your militia, and then they're armed by some country or guns or whatever. This country will be destabilized, you see. And it's gotten to the point where now, as much as Julia, I understand you're saying this is not a good topic of talking about tribalism, but after 2007 or 20 they'll not go to invest anything in a place which is not theirs. Either they invest in metropolitan place like Nairobi and Mombasa, or they go and invest wow. Because like during the post-election violence, so many people used and Gema, they lost their property who are living in diaspora, meaning they were living in areas, I forgot about Rift Valley. They were living outside their own areas, and they had really invested. Now they don't no longer want to invest outside because they know the kind of scenario, and this scenario is not being brought about by tribe. It is being brought about by the fact that the executive is too powerful, and number two, the economic situation in Kenya is extremely dire. So getting people to recruit to be terrorists, getting people to recruit into a militia is a very easy thing, because all these people, all these 14 million unemployed youth, they are a reservoir. Wamekaa tu frustrated, wanakunywa bangi, you can see when George Akoyo came up, he had quite good support. Where was that support coming from? It's coming from disenfranchised youth, dispossessed youth hana mbele wala nyuma, and their parents have spent everything to educate them, and they can't do anything. And then sasa hii Hustler, which is another joke, and insult after insult to the hustlers who voted to this guy. They can't afford food. Alitoa food subsidy. Akasema it cannot subsidize consumption. Uhuru was not mad to subsidize consumption. There is no way a role of a government is to provide, be able to subsidize basic commodities when the inflation is too high, when the economy has a problem. Wana subsidize. Sasa school fees ndio hii. They were doing 50%. Now in January, you have to pay that 50% because wametoa fees subsidy. Sasa subsidy zote zimetolewa, fuel subsidy imetolewa. You can see how high the fuel. Na fuel ikikuwa high, that means also everything, all commodities, because they do use fuel to make them, to produce. Sasa you can see it really itself to the farmer. So what is it? I mean, if we just get somebody, forget even Baba. By the way, Baba, I think he's such a soft-hearted person. He never wants to break the country or to do something extreme. Because I remember There's a time when Hasla was saying in 2007 when they were doing negotiations that he had told Baba that they take hardline stance na wakatae kabisa with this issue of prime minister. So Baba was like, now let's just compromise to avoid, because the country is at standstill and the country has gone into post-election violence. Let's compromise a queer prime minister. But you know, Hasla is that guy who likes hardline stance. You know, the same way he was saying that Uhuru had admitted defeat and wanted to leave the seat to Baba, and he wanted to slap him. The same thing happened in 2007 when during Kofi Annan, when Raila now agreed to go into prime minister. He didn't want that. He wanted them to take headline stance, Kibaki back down. So that's the kind of a person we are having now in power. And number two, we are also having these people who voted for him, hustlers, so-called hustlers, who are now realizing the kind of a person who they voted in doesn't have an iota of their interest at heart. And these disenfranchised people, I can assure you, ni vile tu wamekosa somebody to galvanize them, to organize them. These people, they can stabilize this country badly. This country can become very, and me, I always keep on saying, and the people who realize, majority of them, year 2007, it took some people up to realize this country is very unstable, and they moved out now from either diaspora. If you are, maybe you are living in, if you are living in Kakamega or wherever, nowadays what people are doing, you work, then you invest back into your own county, ama a metropolitan county to secure yourself, because the whole country is, the majority of the country is poor. It's not really about tribe, but you see, and even when, by the way, mutabaki tribe yenu pekee, the people who are doing well in that community will also be victimized. That one happens. Yeah, you are victimized, like what has been happening in Nairobi, Eldoret, where we saw people entering into a supermarket and looting. And right now, you see, they have again done the same blunder which they had done before of victimizing police. They made the blunder of the DCI people who are in the special branch unit, arresting them. Again, they've arrested Rashid, who is the one who cleared problem in Eastleigh, Pangani area, which was very extreme. Now, thieves are back because police wamesema, if you are not going to let us do our job, the ODPP office is not working. You can see now how many people have been released, including Ikesi Cohen. The case has been thrown out, and others, very many others. I'm sure maybe at sasa the the situation is dire, let me tell you, because now thieves wamerudi. By the way, wamerudi kabisa. Only that nowadays wameanza small, they are now in matatu. They are hijacking matatu. So police wamesema, you have arrested Rashid, and now let's leave. Let's let you do the job, because you won't let us do the job. So DPP office is not working. DCI office is not working. Courts are not working. So you don't have to shoot to kill thieves who are killing people. Fine, let's do it your way. Who is suffering? It's us who are going to suffer, because now wameanza tu, and let me tell you, within 1 month utasikia we'll be back to square one of these thieves, because now thieves they understand, hata wanaingia residential area wanaiba tu live tangu Rashid akuwe arrested. So Nani has no clue, so-called hustler. He has no clue what he's doing. He's confused. He's busy thinking of how to loot. The country is here. He needs to run it. He's just doing things haphazardly. And you even heard him saying that some of these statements which his PSs are making are not from him. They are not consulting. That's how. So you want to tell me and Moses Kuria is going to make declaration about GMO at Zinakuta? You don't know. He knows, and he's the one who even told them to say those things. But now he has seen backlash from the public. He's like, these people are the ones who are going to talk without consulting my PSs. So let me tell you, Kenyans, me, I don't know what will happen, but mambo ya official opposition out. Nothing like official opposition, nothing like working with anything to do with Hustler. Anything which has any cooperation between Hustler and, Kenya Kwanza, aka Hustler Group, and Azimio, just know that is a trap. And we are the ones who will suffer as the citizens. We are the ones who will suffer. So Baba akitoka kwa pizza ama akimezwa in the name of official opposition, we are doomed. And we are doomed on both sides, because we are doomed that tutakuwa tunakulwa na government, na pia each side ingine, the government, the country is now going into a state of anarchy, whereby criminals are ruling, cartels are ruling, criminal groups are ruling the place. And then eventually it will morph into something bigger, because what wanataka that big cake. There are people who are like, that cake is, we want now the cake. We don't, we just be a criminal enterprise. We want to go into power. So they form militias. That's how all these countries ended up down the drain, at DRC and the others you see. They ended up down the drain because of a situation like what you are having. So me, my position as someone who's in Azimio, nothing like official opposition, nothing like going to bed with the Kenya Kwanza or Hustler. The Hustler supporting what? You know, that guy, he cannot support anything. He cannot support anything. If you see him supporting something, it's something which is going to back him up. He's an extremist. And he's very vengeful. Hakuna venye anaweza taka kusaidia baba because of what happened in 2007. Hawezi, 20 years down the almost 20 years down the line, he cannot. He's someone who doesn't forgive. He's someone who is out to revenge your sin for yourself. All the people wenye walikuwa na shida na yeye, they're all now in trouble. So please, Azimio, let's not move into mambo za official opposition. We don't need to be officially recognized. We don't need any kind of facilitation. Baba already made a mistake by handshaking with Uhuru. That's what it means. We are not now going to bed again with a fake government which is illegitimate and it stole the election, and then now they are the ones who are coming to tell us, let's make you official opposition and give you all the facts. We don't need facts. What we need is change in this country. Thank you.
Haya, official opposition umesema utaki hiyo kiti. Kwanza Julia, naona unainua mkono, lakini nataka kuuliza public participation hapa, alipata mkopo wake kutoka kwa Hustler Fund ama bado hujapokea?
Hey, first of all, I applied, but I didn't get even a single cent. So I was like, let me change my PIN, because they had given them my M-Pesa PIN. And I was like, maybe there are some people who may hack into their database, alafu wachukue manamba za watu na PIN, waende wa withdraw from your